Hello! Who are you and why are you protesting?
Jonas, my name is John Marketis. I'm protesting at the Melbourne International Convention because of the ignorance of the people inside Marvel Stadium.
Okay, so you're an angry apostate that hate Jehovah's Witnesses.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I don't hate Jehovah's Witnesses. I hate the ignorance that the organisation breeds.
Okay. So you grew up in the religion?
I was born into the religion in 1958.
1958?
And in 1973, when at the full height of the, stay alive to 75 rubbish was going on, I thought, crikey, if it's going to end in 75, I want to live for a couple of years.
Okay. So you were under the impression that Jehovah's Witnesses believed the end would come in 1975?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Everything. My dad even said it was going to be September or October of that year.
Okay. So you basically survived Armageddon?
I survived Armageddon and I've done it many times since, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So why are you protesting now?
I'm protesting because I got active only 5 years ago because I met a lady who was an ex-Jehovah's Witness that had a much more orthodox upbringing and stronger upbringing than I had ever faced. And in order to understand this lady, I needed to reopen the door that I'd closed back in 1973.
Okay.
When I did, I found that because of doctrinal changes and because of the ramping up of shunning pressure and all that kind of thing, there were thousands of other doors behind it that really hadn't existed at that time.
Okay.
Or I didn't think. So I started finding out what really I had never learned. I never believed. Back in 73, I never really believed. I went to the meetings because Dad told me to, and you did what your parents said.
Yeah.
But
you thought Armageddon would come 1975? Well,
yeah, I was an impressionable kid of 15 years of age, and I wanted to find out what real life was about. I've often said since that at the time I couldn't have told you what dichotomy meant, but I knew what a dichotomy was. I knew that there was a congruence between two things. And it seemed in my head impossible that the world could end in 1975, but the witnesses were so damn sure of it.
Yeah, it's like layers and layers. It's really you believe and you don't believe, basically.
Yeah, really, that was it. I believed and I didn't want to believe.
Yeah.
Because I'd never had a strict upbringing, I still had worldly friends. I was still allowed to do extracurricular activities at school. Yeah. I was encouraged to be I had a strong interest in becoming a disc jockey.
Yeah.
And my dad bought all my equipment, built all of my speaker cabinets and mixing desks for me, and because I wasn't old enough to drive, actually acted as a roadie for me and drove me to my gigs.
Yeah.
So
you didn't have
he was giving me an experience.
Yeah, you didn't have the orthodox upbringing like I had.
Oh no, not at all. No, and like so many stories I've read since.
Yeah.
As I say, 5 years ago I met a lady. She was very, very damaged.
Yeah.
Had a lot of demons and a lot of hurt from her upbringing, her strict upbringing. And in order to try and understand her and help her through what her problems were, I had to find out what I never really knew about in the first place. And
okay.
That's when I started to get angry.
So you really never had a strict upbringing, so it was easy to leave. But then you did your research as a grown-up and started to realize it's a cult, not a religion.
It was a very steep learning curve which started 5 years ago, and yes, you're right. It was just so easy to believe. I understood more about I'm not a psychologist, don't get me wrong, but I understood more about psychology and the human psyche and things like that. And I started to look at psychology videos and all that kind of thing. And I could see how somebody, you talked about I believed but I didn't believe. I could understand, when I did that, I could understand how people were told to believe, and because of the continual telling, they bought in to the belief.
Yeah.
And when it gets to the point, when it gets to that point, it's just so hard to. That's when the cognitive dissonance is strong, and it's very hard to get out.
Yeah. So we know there's a lot of PMOs inside the convention because we get messages. We get loads of messages. People that are they're against their will or afraid to lose their family. And I even me, I'm Norwegian in Australia, and I'm receiving messages because they find out about me. So I feel we're here to encourage them, just to show them that there's a life on the outside. It's not as dark as the watchtowers say. You know, everyone on the outside is evil, and apostates are evil.
Yep.
It's a crappy planet, but it's the only planet we got, and it's stupid to wait. Even if life just 80 years, you shouldn't waste it on watchtower.
Well, you shouldn't waste it on shunning somebody just because they don't believe what you do.
No.
Especially when it's somebody you love. Why shun somebody you don't know?
Yeah.
That just seems crazy.
Yeah.
You get to know people before you find you don't like them. If you don't get to know them to start with, you can't find out whether you like them or not. It's just against human nature.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the team Love Never Fails. It basically should be Love Never Fails. Unless you disagree with us, then we don't love you anymore.
Yeah, love never fails. Conditions apply.
Yeah, it's sad. So if you would say some words of encouragement to all our witness viewers, because there's a lot of witness looking at these videos.
Yep.
That are thinking about leaving one way or another, trying to fade away, what would your advice be?
My advice would be, once they recognise a crack in their belief, don't try and plug it. Just research it, look at it, and change your belief, even if it's only in a small way. Take some control back.
Look both sides of the argument.
Absolutely.
Because even the Mormons are a cult, but they say truth cannot be hurt by investigation, and if it can be hurt by investigation, it's not truth. So if the Mormons, and they are a cult, can say that, well, then at least Jehovah's God's one true religion can say the same. If it's the truth, it cannot be hurt by investigation.
Precisely.
And if it can be hurt by investigation, it's not the truth. So
right.
Do your research.
Do your research, find out and make your own mind up. Don't have somebody tell you what you think.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That's a great interview. So.